Hello and welcome back to another exciting video of the quick start tutorial series about the pulley job SA342 Gazelle here in DCS. Today is the day. We are going to employ the hot free missile of the M variant of the Gazelle. We take a closer look at the weapon itself and the armament panel below the co-pilot's TV monitor. Of course, we are also going to engage some trucks with it. Please be aware, this video only shows how to use the hot free missile. If you want to know how to use the auto hover and slew function or how to use the Vivian, the sighting system of the helicopter, please consider watching my Gazelle playlist and the previous videos. Let's start with a quick overview of the M variant. And there we are again outside of our beautiful M-Gazelle. And here we have the hot missile. Hot stands for a French abbreviation I cannot pronounce, but I show it to you on the screen here. And means something like high subsonic optical remote guided tube launched missile. Yes, it wasn't possible to shorten that one. Just some facts about the hot free missile. It has a length of 1.30 meters and a diameter of 150 millimeters. It is a tandem charged heat warhead. We already know heat stands for high explosive anti-tank, and has a two-stage solid fuel rocket engine. The hot free missile is guided by our Vivian, which acts like a SACLOS, which stands for semi-automatic command to line of sight. Or in easy terms, we are guiding our missile through the Vivian and need continuously line of sight to the target until the impact. The hot free is guided by wire, so it isn't a fire and forget weapon. Keep that in mind. The maximum range for the hot free is about 4,300 meters with an approximate speed of 864 kilometers per hour. Before we take off, we want to talk about the armament panel of our M-Gazelle. We start again at the top left and walk through. On the top left we see clear, which tells us we have a target locked up. To the right we have a fault light, which indicates that the missile is not ready to fire and no target is locked. I couldn't find out what supply stands for. Maybe you guys have an idea and can write it in the comments. Below that we have our key, which is used to run test 1 and test 2. Also here I couldn't find out what it is used for. You can select day and night operations. For me both positions do the same. An indicator light shows you which mode is selected. On the right hand side we have a ready light, which shows us if the missile is ready to shoot. That doesn't mean you can shoot right now, it only indicates that the missile is ready. To the right you have your shoot cue. This works like a launch authorization and is also indicated on the TV monitor. To the right we have our failure light. If something is wrong, this light illuminates and indicates that you cannot shoot the missile. Below that is the weapon selector for the hot free missiles. As you can see, between every station we got a 0. Because we can't fire more than one missile at a time, we have to cut the wire of the missile before we use the next one. With the selection of 0, the wire is cut and the next missile is selected. You can see the missile arrangement on the rearm refuel panel. So number 1 is the right outbound station, number 2 is the left outbound station, number 3 is the right inbound station, and number 4 is the left inbound station. So let us move to the practical part. We already started up our Gazelle here. I will switch here to waypoint to have our hover cues here. And first of all we want to prepare the whole aircraft as we learned in our previous videos. So we jump to the co-pilot seat, we open the flip covers, starting the TV monitor, starting the system. Also I want to spool up the FLIR. And we switch our camera selector or mode selector here to standby. Now let's take a closer look to our weapon panel. Of course, we are engaging our targets today in a day environment, so we switch to day. And we can see day is selected, we can see here it is night. We stay on day for the time. And now we want to select our first missile. So I will turn this knob to 1. 1, as you remember, is the right outbound station. Now we can see we have our fold light here because no target is selected. The missile is ready, but we don't have a shoot queue, and we can remain it in this situation here. Okay, so let's take off, open our axis here, and try to find some targets. We already know our 4 targets are on the pier to the north of Kazap. That's where we're heading to. And we want to use all the functions we learned in the previous part, so the auto hover, the slew function and all this stuff. So I think our position here is good enough. So I will just slow down the helicopter. Coming into the parameters for the auto hover here. And auto hover and collective is active as indicated on the bottom left. So we switch to our co-pilot seat again and go to manual. And I think our FLIR isn't ready at the moment. It takes a bit of time, but well, I can now adjust my TV screen here. And I think I'll show you the TV screen in the bigger format because it is quite easier to see the things when the picture is big. So now we are looking for the targets, and we already know they are here at the pier. That's something we already practiced in a previous part. And let's range this target. We have 3,351 meters to the first truck. Okay. So now when we take a look at our armament panel, we can see clear. So the target is locked, so we have a target in sight and in range. And also on the right hand side we see our shoot queue. But why is the shoot queue currently not shown in the TV monitor? I can tell you. You have to turn on your master arm. Don't forget your master arm. It doesn't matter which weapon you are engaged, which weapon you are using in the Gazelle, always turn your master arm on. As soon as we turn on our master arm, we can see that we have our shoot queue down here, so the missile is ready, we are able to shoot, and we also have the shoot queue on our TV monitor. If we now slew back from the datum line of the aircraft, you can see the shoot queue will leave on the TV monitor and also leave on the helicopter. So if we now come back towards the parameter, we also get our shoot queue back in the TV monitor and at the armament panel. Yeah, we can now see we can shoot 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degrees, 3 degrees to the right, and also of course we can shoot 3 degrees to the 3 degrees to the left and 3 degrees to the right. So that's the right one. So we can also take our slave function here, so the helicopter will turn with the camera, but I think we don't need that one today. Okay, let's switch back to our TV monitor in a large size, and now also the FLIR is operating. I can't see that much, so I will adjust my FLIR here a bit brighter. Yeah, that's quite better. So use the adjustment, and now we have our launch authorization, and we are now using our key. the SA342 missile launch button. And keep in mind, you have to maintain the sight on your target until impact. So I would say rifle. And check. The first truck is gone, so we'll zoom out a bit, looking for the next target. It's right beside here. I hope we can hit it. And now we have to switch to our next rocket. So we want to take the left outbound one. So we switch here on the armament panel to 2. And as you can see, missile 1 is now not ready because it doesn't exist anymore. If we switch to the left, we can see target is locked. We have a launch authorization and the missile is ready. And again, taking a look on our 2V monitor. And rifle. I hope we will hit that one, even with the ship. And check, yeah, we hit the third one. And what I want to show you now is, I'm switching to the next weapon here, so we get our launch authorization back. And what I want to show you here is you can guide the missile while it's flying. So we will now launch our rocket or our missile, and while the missile is flying, we will slew it towards the truck on the right. So I would say rifle. Now we see the rocket is flying and we're now going to the target. And you see, you can guide the missile even after launch with your sighting system. So the missile will always try to fly to the midpoint of your crosshair. I would say last one. Again, next missile is selected. Looking for the target. Range is good. Rifle. And check. Perfect. We engaged all 4 targets with all 4 missiles. So now back in the cockpit, we select standby again to stow our camera system. We can turn off our master arm panel, switch back to the pilot seat and turn off the master arm. Then we try to take over our hover here. Right side is clear. And we can fly back to rearm and refuel. Perfect. So that's the weapon engagement of the hot missile. Together with the previous videos about the Vivian and the auto hover function. This is quite cool to use also in multiplayer to engage different threats and do reconnaissance. That's it, guys. You are now able to fire the hot-free missile of the M-Gazelle. In the next video, we will take the Mistral variant of the Gazelle and start engaging air targets. I hope to see you in one of my upcoming videos. All the best from my side. See you next time.